Are the differences of these two bikes enough to justify having a Sportster or a Street Bob, or going from a Sportster to a Street Bob? Everybody, what is up? What is up? We are back out on the Harley Sportster Iron 1200. Thanks for stopping by. I know it's been a minute, but we are finally back out on the bike and recording again. As some of you may have noticed, it's been a little while since we actually had the camera on. Wasn't doing that much recording lately. Wasn't putting out that many videos lately. Not for any particular reason, or, you know, nothing wrong really. I was just having a really good time lately, just like riding around, not filming, meeting up with a lot of friends, meeting up with a lot of people, doing a lot of cool rides, and I was just kind of like, you know what, I just want to enjoy the ride, enjoy the moment, and not really have to worry about like filming or equipment or any of that. And when I got into that, that kind of carried me through 4 weeks of no filming. Sorry about that. Apologies to everybody out there. Also, thanks to everybody out there. Didn't realize you guys enjoyed the content that much. Everybody's kind of reaching out saying, okay, when's the next video? Like, hey, is everything all right? Everything's good? Like, thanks for reaching out, guys. Yes, everything is good. Everything is all right. I was just enjoying a lot of good road trips, a lot of good time on the bike, not having to worry about filming and everything. But yes, we are back. We are back now. And with that said, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like this video, drop a comment down there, because I'm sure all that little time off probably threw off the algorithm. So do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like this video, drop a comment down there so we can kind of get back on track with the algorithm after taking a few weeks off. But real quick, some of the cool stuff that I did during that time period. Like I said, I was doing a lot of fun rides around town, around Philly, with a good group of friends, a lot of different bikes getting out. Took a road trip to Gettysburg, that was a good time. Also did a road trip down to like the southern point of Jersey. Took the ferry across the water over to Delaware. That was a good time with Jason at Ironborn Rider, Tim at Nevermore Moto. We did have just a few hiccups on that trip. Actually, some things did not quite go as planned, but hey, it makes for a good story. That's a story for another day. So that's what I've been up to. Let me know what you've been up to kind of in the month of July. Have you gotten any good road trips in? Have you gotten any good new exciting stuff going on with your bike? I missed all of you out there. I love interacting with you guys in the comments. Make sure you drop a comment down there. Let me know what you've been up to. But none of that is the actual reason for today's video. The actual reason for today's video is, as many of you know or have heard me say in the past, there is coming a time that I think in the very near future that I would be getting a new bike, hopefully. I know a lot of you out there know that I do love the Street Bob. That's probably one of the highest contenders of one of my next bikes, the Harley Davidson Street Bob. I just love the look of that thing. I love the idea of the 114 and a smaller bike like that. Just absolutely love it. So what has happened recently is I may have started to reconsider that thought, or maybe I've just been overthinking it. I know I have tended to be an overthinker a little bit in the past. I've even had people comment on some of my videos when I'm talking through stuff. They're like, man, you're just overthinking it. Like, do whatever you want. Like, just don't worry about it. Whatever. Like, you're way overthinking it. And I agree, that can tend to be the case here. But anyways, with the Street Bob, the thing that I've been starting to think about is it worth it, or is it different enough than the Sportster to have the Sportster and the Street Bob, or go from the Sportster to the Street Bob? Because I'm leaving the dealership right now. I was just out at Brandywine Harley talking to my buddy Dan out there, and of course I'm just like eyeing up Street Bobs, like goo-goo eyes over these things. Like, I absolutely love them. But I start to think, like, is it really different enough than the Sportster, for example? And so, like, what do I mean by that? If you think about it, the functionality of that bike is really not much different than the Sportster. It's a stripped down cruiser. Obviously the main differences are going to be the power, and it's a little bit heavier. I mean, the riding position is not even that much different than my bike, the Iron 1200. You know, you don't have bags or anything like that. You don't have any storage. You kind of have to outfit it yourself for storage and to carry things and to travel with it. You got to throw a fairing on it and everything for the stuff that I would like to do with it anyways, as far as long distance and traveling. And my question for you guys is, like, do you think they're too similar of bikes? Like, they're both stripped down, like, minimalistic cruiser style bikes. You know, obviously, like I said, the Street Bob has a lot more power. It's going to be a little bit more comfortable in the soft tail frame. But as far as the functionality, they're very similar. So it's like, why wouldn't I maybe go to like a bigger bike that has a little bit more of that touring functionality? You know, if you think about like Lowrider ST, you've got your bags, you've got your fairing, it's 117, it looks awesome, it's amazing, I would love to have that bike. Or even up into like a Road King or something like that. Like, I'm starting to almost think, like, I love the Street Bob, but does it make sense to even go into a Street Bob, for example? Like, I know I'm probably going to want a touring bike at someday, something with bags, a big heavy cruiser at some point, I guess. But I just really love the Street Bob now. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Am I overthinking it? Are the differences of these two bikes enough to justify having a Sportster or a Street Bob, or going from a Sportster to a Street Bob? And if you have experience with that scenario, drop it down in the comments and let me know how it's been for you so far. I mean, even if you think about it all the way down into, like, you know, the front ends are basically the same. Street Bob is not inverted like the Lowrider S or anything like that. Single disc up front, both single up the front. I mean, the main difference is obviously the soft tail frame. Oh, look at these big ape hangers right here. But anyways, you've got those differences. The Street Bob's going to be heavier, it's going to have more power, it's going to do better at cruising speeds and things like that. But is it different enough to really be the right jump from the Sportster to the Street Bob? I don't know where I got this thought or why I started questioning this. Actually, you know what, I do think I know where I got this idea from. I was actually talking to a guy at a dealership one day. I just ran into him and we're talking bikes. I don't know who he was, but you know, he's talking about my Sportster. He's like, oh, cool, man, cool bike. Like, I had one of those and I went up to a Street Glide. He's like, you know, I want to do longer distance, get out there. The Sportster was great for learning and all this and that, and getting used to riding and everything. I'm like, yeah, you know, I agree. He's like, what are you thinking about as your next one? And I'm like, oh, you know, I'm kind of thinking Street Bob. And he's like, man, I don't know, you might just want to go right up into that bigger bike. And I'm like, you know what, maybe you're right. Like, the Sportster and the Street Bob are so similar, like I was saying, that, you know, you don't get much different functionality out of the two bikes. Like, if I get the Street Bob, I'm still gonna have to put a fairing on it, still gonna have to outfit it for bags and traveling, which, I mean, is fine. That's like fun stuff to do, obviously, modify out your bike to make it exactly what you want. But I don't know, I just really started thinking, like, the Lowrider ST is just such an amazing bike. Like, it's almost like the perfect all-around bike. It's sporty enough, it's small enough, and nimble enough to be quick, but also it's big and stout to get you cruising with that fairing. You got the bags back there, super functional. So, I don't know, man. Now, here's actually another way to look at it. I already know what some of you guys out there are going to say is, why not just have three go Sportster, Street Bob, and a big old touring bike? Now, yes, I think that probably would be the most ideal scenario, probably, I would say. You got your Sportster, you got your soft tail, you got your touring platform. That would obviously be ideal. So yeah, I don't know, maybe keep the Sportster, get a Street Bob, have that for a couple years, finally go up into the touring bike. Then you got your whole stable of bikes, 3 different bikes. Take your pick any day of the week, you got everything you want. I don't know, that might be a little impractical for this point in time, but hey, you never know. Man, this has been a nice little ride of a day so far. Like I said, we earlier on in the video, we were coming up on 202 outside of like Chad's Ford area. Now we're on Street Road 952 or 926, I don't know what it is, Street Road. We're out in like the Glen Mills area. We're out west of Philly, if any of you guys know where that's at. I know I got some people floating around out this way. I know I got somebody out there that says they're out in this area. I forget who it is. Remind me. Drop it down there. Drop it down in the comments. Let me know who you are out there in Glen Mills area. But yeah, that's kind of where my head is at right now. Maybe with all the time off from filming, maybe I was overthinking things a little bit too much. overthinking my choices and my direction I want to go for another bike. Maybe I should just stop overthinking it and pull the trigger. Man, I really want a Street Bob 114. Honestly, I would like a 2021 Street Bob 114 in either the white or the Deadwood green. I like both of those colors. If anybody's got a line on either of those out there, how about you go ahead and let me know, like a used one. I like that spoke tire a lot better than the new mag one that just came out. Alrighty, so we just hit Route 3, Westchester Pike, heading west back towards Philadelphia. So I'd say that's probably where we are going to wrap this one up. First video in a while, got your traditional moto vlog, back on the bike. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like this video, and drop a comment down there for us. Because like I said, we are back in action now. We got some more good video ideas coming up. We got some events around the city we're gonna get to. A couple different little tips and tricks we're gonna go through on the bike in a couple videos as well. So make sure you stay tuned for those. But like I said, I think that's gonna wrap it up for now. Make sure you ride safe out there. Make it a good one, guys. It's the Moto Jawn. We'll see y'all on down the road. Peace.